Good morning, Britain, from the Conservative Party conference in Manchester, where the Prime Minister will be joining me and you for a live interview this morning. Good morning from the Conservatives' annual party conference in Manchester on a crucial day for the Prime Minister, not least because this will be his first live interview on Good Morning Britain since he became Prime Minister. Public rows over tax, bitter infighting over the scrapping of HS2 and former Prime Ministers and Cabinet colleagues seeming to go rogue. It's already been a bruising start for Rishi Sunak, this conference. I will be interviewing him live this morning as the fate of HS2 dominates not just the headlines, but also today's expected emergency cabinet meeting. He's accused of ripping the heart out of Northern Powerhouse Rail and sticking two fingers up at the North. And I'll ask him why he thinks this £71 billion project has reached the end of the line. There's plenty more in Rishi Sunak's in tray as next year's general election looms large. He's branded as out of touch and behind in the polls. Is he now regretting the 5 pledges he made back in January of this year? The cost of living crisis continues to bite, and he tells struggling families we must hold our nerve to beat inflation. But pensioners still face another winter of choosing between heating or eating, and families are struggling to cope with costs that just keep going up. And a source of pride, the nation celebrated 75 years of the NHS, but with the attrition of austerity, record high waiting lists, doctors on strike over pay and the COVID backlog, it has become a deeply wounded system. So the Prime Minister has many questions to answer when he joins me for the first time since he was handed the keys to number 10 at 8 o'clock this morning. First though, here's our political correspondent, Louisa James. Sunak is not going to thank us for talking about Nigel Farage in such glowing terms as you seem to be.
Well, I like him. I've always liked him.
And
I think he's...
The issues, do you think, that, you know, if you were given the chance to sit down with Rishi Sunak this morning, and Good Morning Britain viewers will see him live for the first time in an interview, what do you think the viewers, the voters, want to hear Rishi Sunak address?
How is he going to fix the...
We saw yesterday the Chancellor say that he's going to crack down on... Today we see that the Health Secretary is going to ban transgender women from female wards.
That's a vote for common sense. That's common sense.
These aren't core issues.
No, they're all peaceful.
Ban on mobile phones in classrooms. These are all things which are being announced as sort of headline policies, which are already under the control of either teachers or local councils.
Yeah.
If
Rishi
will be joining me live to answer many of those questions at 8 o'clock this morning. Now back to Ed and Kate in the studio.